Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, we got a lot to cover. So let's get going. We're always sponsored by Deters Consulting, Park Shoga. Check us out on all of our platforms. Well, Bobby Kennedy has acknowledged that after the Parkland shooting, he should not have called the NRA a terrorist organization. He says he does not think it's a terrorist organization. Bobby Kennedy will be at the Glen Mary Country Club in Louisville tonight from 6:30 to 8:30 to give a speech and meet with anybody who wants to show up and meet with him. This event is being sponsored by Chris Thieneman. Eric Deters Media is going to cover it. St. Louis is the most dangerous city in the country, apparently now. Who would ever think Chicago wasn't? Biden rejects Netanyahu's invitation to come visit Israel. Imagine that. Rite Aid is filing bankruptcy. Hits just keep coming. A heckler on Mike Pence claimed that they were gay lovers. I have to admit, it wouldn't shock me if Pence was a closet gay guy. Supersized prisons are coming. Apparently, our federal government are going to spend billions of dollars to build more prisons. Folks, here's the solution to the prison overcrowding. The people with nonviolent crimes should have shorter sentences. And we should not have life sentences for the real bad guys. There should be more death penalty. Prison overcrowding solved. TransUnion has to pay $15 million for its transgressions and inappropriate release of information. According to an MI5 agent for the Brits on his deathbed, claimed he was behind the death and lady died. Probably a little drama. I don't know if I believe him. Trump NDAs apparently are not legitimate. I'm sure they'll be appealing. Cargill, Swift, and Tyson did cattle kills to try to increase the cost of beef. They never stop, do they? Krugman, New York Times joke of an economist says, other than rent, food, and gas, inflation's coming down. IRS guy who released Trump's tax return is going to be sentenced. Failed intel all over the place. Why? Jake Sullivan is our national security intelligence guy. He's doing a bang-up job, isn't he? AI is eating up electricity. They say AI will eat up all of our electricity. Crazy. Palestinians, they want Joe Biden to back the hell off. Joe Biden has actually said, despite saying he's 100% for the Israelis, has said, you know, he's equivocated already. Iran's behind this, no question whatsoever. Even Senator Cotton said so. All right, wrong direction. 70% plus in our country think we're going in the wrong damn direction. So why would anybody support Joe Biden? Their self-interest. In fact, Joe Biden hauled in $71 million compared to Trump's $24 million. I swear, man, the corruption's so deep. Yale is defending the free speech of a professor who blasted the Israel. Do they say that about COVID? Hell no. Water supply. First, the Israelis cut off the water supply from Gaza. At President Biden's urging, they've turned it back on. Hamas weapons are apparently from China and Russia. Boy, that's a real shocker, isn't it? Jovan Williams is an 18-year-old. There's an arrest warrant out for him in Morgan State. They have in custody a 17-year-old. We'll see what happens. Jeff Landry, the Republican from Louisiana. I've spoken to this guy. I consider him my friend. He has now been elected governor of Louisiana. Trump gave a 2-hour speech at Palm Beach. That's a long speech. Clooney is doing a documentary about the Ohio State sex thing where the coach was touching people and whatnot. Allegedly, it makes Jim Jordan that he knew about all this. We'll see. By the way, speaking of Jordan, Jordan is the Republican nominee for the Speaker of the House. Hostages. Apparently, Israel has said, hey, we've done all we can. Hostages are now not a priority. Just can't, there's no way you can get them all back. DeSantis allegedly picked his nose. I watched the video. They're calling him Ron the Booger. He didn't pick his nose. He was wiping his nose, trying to get his... Hell, I've picked my nose. People are honest. They pick their damn nose. When it's dry and you got a booger in there, man. You got to pick your nose. I think DeSantis is being unfairly treated. The Louvre and Versailles were both evacuated. Scary stuff. Soros wrote an op-ed about how Hamas deserves support. Hasn't aged very well. The kibbutz. These are little towns and little communities that have been under attack and where all the horror took place. And some of them are just devastated. Warren Buffett was so cheap, he wouldn't even lend his daughter money. By the way, all these people that tell you how to live and you live cheap, you know what? Life isn't all about money, hoarding money, and seeing how much money you can accumulate. It's called living life. You can choose your own path. Notre Dame president, controversial, been there about 15 years, is stepping down. Gaza Strip apparently is being obliterated. No shocker there. A Jewish lawyer, Orthodox lawyer, Stanley Cohen, apparently represents Hamas. Brags he's got him on speed dial. Mike Lindell's apparently going to have a telethon to ask for money. You know, Mike, yeah, I feel sorry for the guy. But all we hear is spy pillow, my pillow, my pillow. Sell, 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 sell. Now it's bag, 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 bag. It wears on me. DOJ decided not to prosecute Biden for hosting campaign finance. I wonder how much foreign money came into the old campaign. Hamas duped everybody by claiming, you can't make this up, by claiming they weren't going to do anything. Well, hello. 60% of U.S. homeowners are pausing home improvements because of money. Housing is becoming more and more expensive to own. Shocker there. Young Americans are cutting back on paying money for restaurants. Arnold on The View says the Democrats are wrecking all the cities. Joe Biden's going to pay $7 billion for hydrogen hubs around the country. The Ford EV program is apparently crashing and burning. I wonder if Tesla would sell to Ford. $668 billion apparently wasn't collected by the IRS in 2021. Foreclosures, all-time high since the pandemic. Bill Maher calls them queers for Palestine. Made fun of them. Manchin's down 13 to justice in the U.S. Senate race in West Virginia. That phone call we were worried about between Iran and the Saudis, well, apparently the Saudis said, nah, baby, nah. They don't want to play ball with Iran. McDonald's is under attack for boycott. Why? Giving free food to Israeli soldiers. George Santos has been moved to be expelled from Congress. This guy's a thief. Hezbollah is saying they're all in with Hamas. Here we go. Stand in your corner. Can't make this up. Stanford professor, we're making kids stand in the corner because that's what Israelis did to Palestine. Dylan Mulvaney, Attitude Magazine. I've never read it. You probably haven't either. But they've made Dylan Mulvaney Woman of the Year. Jamie Dimon, you know what? I've been saying this forever. Said this is probably the most dangerous time in the last 2 decades. No crap. And Trump's got a hearing this morning in front of the Washington, D.C. judge, Jude Kahn, who hates his guts, on about whether a gag order go in place. You're going to gag a presidential candidate, speaking out against his enemies. Makes no sense. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.
Hello, you're watching Eric Deters World News, the latest headlines. A court in India has acquitted 2 men who spent years on death row for the rape and murder of 19 women and children in 2005. Surinder Kohli and his businessman employee Marinder Singh Panda were convicted in 2009 in a gruesome case that shocked the world. Officials at Hong Kong International Airport have uncovered 11 kilos of suspected cocaine hidden in the cushion of an electric wheelchair. The haul, worth an estimated $1.5 million, was found when a 51-year-old man going through customs clearance over the weekend. The man who arrived from the Caribbean country of Saint Martinique via Paris has been arrested. Rescue workers are searching for 167 people still missing after their boat capsized in the Democratic Republic of Congo over the weekend. More than 40 bodies have been recovered whilst 189 survivors were rescued after the boat sank in the Congo River. The boat was overloaded with more than 300 passengers and cargo. And another earthquake struck Afghanistan yesterday morning in the same area where a series of powerful tremors last weekend left more than 1,000 people dead. A magnitude 5.5 aftershock followed 20 minutes later. National disaster management officials said they were still investigating the scale of the destruction. Until tomorrow, have a fantastic day. Take care. Cheerio.
Ladies and gentlemen, American Cheering Bulldog Nation, welcome to Eric Deters Local News, and we're always sponsored by Deters Consulting, Parks Yoga. Check us out on all of our platforms. Well, the lead story is there's going to be a governor's debate at NKU tonight at 6 p.m. No audience members. It's just going to be the questioners between Cameron and Beshear. It is going to start at 6 p.m. They're going to have Kentucky journalists. It can be aired on, let me see, Bowling Green on NBC 40 starting at 6 p.m. on Monday night. There's going to be an anchor on WCPO. I'm assuming WCPO is going to air it. All right, long crime, 911 road rage call. A newly released 911 call shows moments after a Boone County man accused pointing a gun at a family in a road rage incident. What did this start over? I guess I wasn't going fast enough. Unbelievable. A Henry County bank robber. How do you like that? On Saturday at apparently 10:59 a.m., Kentucky State Police Post 5 reported a robbery at United Citizens Bank in Newcastle. The subject's a white male, heavy-set build. No arrests made. All right. Pike County teacher is accused of not reporting a relationship between a minor and a teacher. They're going to charge him with that. Christopher Sawyers, 41, was charged, failing to report it. All right. Bond Hill man accused of dropping a woman's body from an apartment window. Anthony Howard, pictured there. Crazy. Cheryl Bennett is charged with murder. Was arrested again for breaching the terms of her being out. LaFontaise Davis is the one that's being charged with the murder in Over the Rhine. Boiling water. Evan Walker threw boiling water on her ex. That's a bad fight breakup, isn't it? In local news, Covington wants reimbursement from the P&G Stop Forest Destruction protest on the Roebling Bridge. More pickleball courts are now at Richardson Road in Independence. Pickleball's hot in Independence. I can tell you got to wait in line sometimes. Scott High School has opened their new aquatic center. They're going to hold lots of meets. They've had one there forever, but this is a new one. Ludlow Rail Yard is going to be an historic site. And Kim Banta had the ethics complaint against her drop. In Kentucky, Beshear leads Cameron, less than a couple weeks, less than a month. He's got $1 billion more than Cameron. A man was shot at a Louisville gas station and died over the weekend. I wonder if that was over gasoline prices. A Keeneland lobbyist, pictured here, nice lady, has passed away. Former Greenup County Sheriff has been charged. Sheriff Keith Cooper, money, improperly obtained. A Louisville father can't reach his family. He assumes they are all dead. They were studying abroad. Adam Sloan has been convicted of selling fake masks. Lexington businessman. In Ohio, Ford is laying off about 260 people from their from their Sharonville plant. House has passed a bill to help people ease their pain on their property taxes going up. A Cincinnati plane headed from Philadelphia to CVG was evacuated, turned back. We don't know what the issues were. And Coleraine, I got to find this story. Coleraine Township is going to build a firehouse where the football players and the cheerleaders play. So sports loses out to a new firehouse. Palestine protesters. That many people showed up in downtown Cincinnati. Crazy. Mike DeWine gave reprieve to 3 death row inmates in the Ross Prison Center. Ohio prisons, they're going to be more full. Why? Because they're upping the penalties for drug offenses involving fentanyl and meth. Traffic and arrest. Somebody who's been trafficking humans has been arrested. Do you believe this goes on? I can't believe it goes on. Prepaid funeral contracts are not a protected trademark, according to the Ohio Supreme Court. And last but not least, on Saturday, there was a forum for the United States Senate. Dolan, Marino, and the rest of them. Boring, boring, boring forum. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Cheering Bulldog Nation, since it was over the weekend, we got 39 pop culture topics. And the lead one is something else. Hey, Britt, do you remember that movie, Indecent Proposal, where the character played by Robert Redford offered $1 million for one night with Woody's Demi Moore?
Yep, we were just talking about that.
Well, somebody offered Alicia Lehman 100,000 Swiss francs for a night. And you know what her and the spokesman's response was? No, followed by only 100,000 francs. So we know that Alicia's would expect a lot more. Would you pay 100,000 francs for one night with Alicia?
No comment.
Yeah. Does Anna watch this show? All right. 1981 DeLorean was found in a barn, only 1,000 miles. I wonder how much that's worth. Dylan Mulvaney, you can't make this up. Attitude Magazine. Any of you guys ever read Attitude Magazine? No, me neither. Attitude Magazine made her the Woman of the Year. A man is Woman of the Year of Attitude Magazine. Unbelievable. Ronaldo is facing 99 lashes. 99 lashes for apparently messing around with an Iranian woman. Jada Pinkett says her birthday present was moving out on Will. You ready for this? Since 2016, they ain't been married. They've been faking it. She said that she didn't even see the slap. This has all been one big fraud. You know, Will Smith has crashed and burned. I mean, this makes him look like a complete boob. Jada Pinkett's saying Tupac was her soulmate, even though they never boinked. You know, Jada Pinkett used to be a drug dealer. Crazy stuff. The Eras Tour. You ready for this? Apparently going to make $4 billion. I assume that's gross. Dean McDermott was seen out with a girlfriend after breaking up with Tori Spelling, who's apparently living in a hotel still. Saturday Night Live was hosted by Pete Davidson, who came out and spoke about the Palestinians and the Israels. And then he says, I'm going to try to be funny, which I don't think Pete Davidson is funny. But then the special guests were surprise guests, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce stopped by. Hugh Jackman celebrated his birthday with his ex. That's interesting. You got Hugh Jackman there. Khloe Kardashian does not rule out getting back with Tristan. I swear to goodness, these guys can do anything, and the Kardashians take them back. We all know why.
I don't even know who that dude is.
He's a basketball player.
Oh, okay.
There is a good rumor pushed by Jerry Seinfeld that there might be a Seinfeld reunion. Do you all care? I don't. Beckham, the woman skank, keeps trying to admit it. Go away. She's trying to disrupt his life. Young Americans apparently are cutting back, and one of the things they're cutting back on is going out to restaurants. A New York home, why would you build? Look at this. 110,000 square foot home.
Looks like a high school.
Yeah, it looks like a high school. Like, why? Why would you need this? Egomaniac dumbass. Live to be 100. You know the key to living to be 100? Apparently is having good sulfuric acid. All right, 60% of homeowners say they're putting off repairs because they're broke. And Golden Bachelor Jerry apparently offended some people because he confessed that late at night he's got a sweet tooth. Why would that be some kind of a freaking thing? You know what? They totally screwed up Golden Bachelor with Jerry. They should have hooked up Golden Bachelor instead of these geriatric chicks. They should have had him out with 28-year-olds. That would have been fun. All right, Kaya Gerber, Cindy Crawford's lookalike daughter. She came out in support of Israel because her daddy is Jewish. Logan Paul and Dylan Danis fight. Went nuts when Dylan decided to pick up Logan Paul, tried to wrestling. Michael Caine has announced he's retiring from acting. This is sad. I like Michael Caine. Paul McCartney saying you having Yoko around during recording sessions was awful. I watched that Beatles documentary, and I agree. What the hell was Yoko being in there? Just tells you what kind of a wimp John Lennon was. He couldn't stand up to Yoko. Bruce Willis apparently can't even talk. I guess that means he's not going to be able to play me in The Butcher of Pakistan. The Burial. Jamie Foxx stars in this movie. He plays the famous Georgia lawyer Gary in a lawsuit against a funeral home, which the owner was, I think, who's that actor? I forget his name. But anyway, it's apparently a good show. Nick Saban. He was funnier than hell. He was talking about his cornerback couldn't guard a gnat on a baboon's ass or something like that. You got to love Nick Saban. Rudy apparently was fake, according to Joe Montana, who was the quarterback at the time. Said him being carried off the field was just a prank, and there was no chanting. But he did get in the game and got a sack. Brooke Eden is being hailed as a great singer of the national anthem. Country music singer, sang the national anthem in London, did a great job. You ready for Yale? Yale's making excuses for a professor who called Israelis names saying free speech. They wouldn't do that if it was about COVID, though, would they? Coin flips. Some jackwagons flipped a coin nearly 400,000 times to see if heads or tails mattered. What matters is which side of the coin you toss with. It's not really 50-50. 50 Cent says, he's maintained that Diddy is the one who's behind Tupac's murder. We'll see. An 1895 ship was found. You know, the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald? Well, this was in Lake Huron in 1895. The ship and whole crew finally found. Ken Burns has got a PBS special coming out this week. It's about the buffalo. They're going to do a whole thing about the buffalo. Graves of Knights Templars were found. I wonder if they found the Holy Grail. We don't know yet. Killers of the Flower Moon comes out Friday. They say this is like the movie of movies. Martin Scorsese, Leonardo DiCaprio, about killing people in the Osage Indian community because they found oil. Super Bowl being discussed to go to London. Suzanne Summers, may she rest in peace, she succumbed to a long battle of cancer. They found a bunch of presidential statues in a field in Virginia. These are like big statues of 42 presidents. They're supposed to be used like in conjunction with what's the big, in South Dakota, I'm having a brain infarction here. Mount Rushmore. But they never were. They're just sitting there. But now they get paid money. Peanuts. Apparently you can't grow peanuts. There's a bunch of regulations, federal regulations, that you can't grow and sell peanuts on your own. Crazy. An MI-15 agent confessed on his deathbed he whacked Princess Di. Do you believe it? I think it's a bunch of BS trying to make himself famous. What do you say, Britt?
I think it's true. I do.
All right. And Drake lost $850,000 on the Dennis Logan Paul fight. You know, when you're filthy freaking rich, you can bet $850,000 and lose. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. We'll be back tomorrow with more pop culture. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to Sports Without Boundaries. We have a lot to cover today, so let's get going. The Rangers beat the Astros in Houston, game one of the ALCS, 2-0. They got a home run, but this was wild. Altuve, who's a pretty level-headed player, right? He's like their star, their main player. Did not tag second base when trying to get back to first on a fly ball stolen home run. Guess what? He was called out. That was the second out in the inning, and that was it. That was in the 8th inning. So the Texas Rangers win 2-0. They're back out at it today, along with the Phillies and the Diamondbacks game one. Their games are at 4:37 and 8:07. I'm going to be watching. I hope you watch. Well, the Bengals won 17-13. Joe Burrow had a great game, but I tell you, the hero of this game, No question about it. The D-line, especially those last two series, they came up big and beat the Seahawks. This evens up the Bengals schedule 3-3 as they move into the bye week. And they're only one game out of first. So the Bengals have saved their season. In NFL games, the Ravens over in London beat the Titans 24-16. The Commanders beat the Falcons 24-16. Former UC Bearcat quarterback Ritter, 3 interceptions. Not good. It's the first time he lost a home game, though. The Jags 37, the Colts 20. The Jags are in first place. Trevor Lawrence, on his third season, finally has his team in first place. The Dolphins 42, Panthers 21. Funny thing here, the Panthers punter headbutted a Dolphin. Boom, knocked him out. He kind of flopped, but who cares? Vikings 19, Bears 13. Justin Fields was hurt. Big game. And I tell you right now, because I'm a Cowboy fan, I was rooting for the Browns, even though they're in the Bengals division. The Browns beat the 49ers. The 49ers are supposed to be invincible. The Browns beat them 19-17. Deebo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey both got hurt and injured at the game, but who cares? The Browns are playing with a backup quarterback, and they beat them. Texans 20, Saints 13. C.J. Stroud playing good football. Raiders 21, Patriots 17. Jimmy Garoppolo went to the hospital on an ambulance with an alleged back injury. We'll see how it plays out. And you know what? Good old Bill Belichick was so pissed off he threw down his tablet.
Oh.
Mac Jones is driving him insane. Lions 20, Bucks 6. Bills 14, Giants 9. This game was wild. First off, it was 6-0 going in a half. And the Giants screwed up because Tyrod Taylor did an audible instead of passing the ball, ran the ball. He didn't make it, and they lost a chance to get 3 points. The coach went bonkers. Then there was an all-out fight later in the game. Crazy stuff. And then at the end of the game, they had 2 chances to score to win the game. And you know what? The refs should have called another penalty, but they didn't. So the Giants lose 14-9 to the Bills. They had the Bills beat. Jets 20 over the Eagles 14. I watched this game. It was a great game. Great game. Rams 26, Cards 9. And tonight, you know what tonight is, Britt?
I have no idea, mate.
Britt, he fell down the steps this week, so he's injured. I can't believe he's able to even do his world news tonight. He says it's going to help his chess game. But his new nickname is Cornwallis Biden. Anyway, the Dallas Cowboys play the San Diego Chargers. In college football, Georgia beat Vanderbilt, Michigan beat Indiana, Ohio State beat Purdue, Bama beat Arkansas, Washington beat Oregon. That was a big game, 6-7. And Louisville's undefeated. They let 1-4 Pitt beat them. Notre Dame mopped the floor with USC. Missouri beat Kentucky, 2 losses in a row. Bearcats lost their homecoming 30-10 to Iowa State. North Carolina beat Miami. Florida State beat Syracuse. Stanford came back from 29-0 to beat Colorado. And Shedeur Sanders was marketing things at halftime. Punkin' Stanford, and they lost. Deion Sanders might have been going a little too crazy. All right, high school football, Highlands over Connor, Covcath over Harrison, Dixie over Scott, Ryle over Great Crossing. I'm still trying to figure out what Great Crossing is. Georgetown. St. X beat Ignatius. Bishop Gerard beat Elder. Did Moeller win? Over St. Edwards? I don't know. This is a funny story. Jamar, I'm always open. I'm effing always open. Is partnering with 7-Eleven for some type of like clothing or something. I don't know what they're doing. But he's going to make money out. I'm always open. LeBron James is the first active athlete to ever become worth $1 billion. Ronaldo apparently fooled around with the chick in Iran, so now he faces the possibility of 99 lashes. Do you think Ronaldo's worried, Britt?
No.
I don't think he is, Cornwallis Biden. All right. Spencer Strider of the Atlanta Braves said F you to an umpire. If you read his lips, I don't blame him. I tell you right now, if I'm a pitcher, some of these calls, I would lose my mind. Like you're struggling. So you need a strike. You get a strike, but they call it a ball. Deion Sanders and his Colorado Buffaloes were also under fire. By the way, they were spoofed on Saturday Night Live. But they were, by the way, I'm a Deion guy. I support Deion. But also, they were playing music too loud during Stanford when they were, they're supposed to turn the music off. Well, they weren't turning the music off when Stanford was going to snap the ball. Cam Newton's going after an old girlfriend. How much he must hate her to get a Bentley back. Come on, Cam. Boy, she's pretty. Just let her have it. You watch, now she'll start spilling secrets. Kittle was fined about $10,000 for his FU Dallas shirt. I think he should have been fined $25 million for saying such despicable things about my Dallas Cowboys. Miles Bridges was picked up and arrested. He's the Charleston basketball player who, guess what? Domestic violence. Beckham's mistress says, come on, come clean. This woman, after the success of the Beckham Netflix, is just trying to make money. Besides that, she's not a mistress. He only slept with her twice. Don't you have to sleep with somebody like 10 times for her to be a mistress? Cornwallis Biden?
I don't think he slept with her. I think it's a scandal.
I think it's a scam too. Dak says him and CD are going to work it all out. We'll see tonight. By the way, Boros is this big agent, like he's the big hotshot agent. He represents all the Reds who are going to make big-time money, like the whole infield of the Reds. The Reds aren't going to be able to afford them. The NBA is looking to expand, and the two cities they're eyeing is Seattle and Las Vegas. Why not Louisville? And the Paul Dennis fight turned out to be nuts because at the end of the fight, Dennis picks him up and decides to start wrestling. Security came in the ring and everything else. Well, these fights with Paul are a joke. Rudy really didn't happen the way the movie said it. And you know who's telling the truth? Joe Montana. Joe Montana claimed they were not. He did get in the game. He did get a sack. There was no chanting. There was no giving the uniform. And he also said that the guys that carried him off the field kind of did it as a joke. Thanks a lot, Montana, for destroying the whole Rudy story. Brooke Eden sang the national anthem, country music star over in London, and everybody's excited about her singing.
I never heard of it.
Hey, isn't she kind of pretty, isn't she? Anyway, Super Bowl, there's some discussion that the Super Bowl might be held in London one day. Are you kidding me? That's blasphemous. What do you think, Britt?
I think it's a fantastic idea.
Oh, my God. Are you ready for this? You can't make this up. You know the word equalizer they use in soccer all the time?
Yeah.
They're now using that in the NFL. The extra point will be the equalizer. I'm like, shut up. You're not a soccer announcer. Floyd Mayweather threw 5,000 tons of supplies. We don't know if it was cocaine or food to Israel. Joey Votto is going to be hunting for a team because the Reds apparently made it clear they don't want him back. Sorry, Joey. Terry Bradshaw apparently had a coughing and crazy incident. They're worried that he was stroking out on the set. NBC is under fire for Jack, Chris Collinsworth's son, and Jason Garrett's call of the USC Notre Dame game. I watched the game. I can't believe I'm going to say this because I ain't a Collinsworth fan, okay? And we know that Jack wouldn't have got that job but for Chris. I thought Jack Collinsworth and Jason Garrett did a fine job. I thought he did a good job. Liberty and Aces are going to Game 4 because Liberty came back and beat them. Damian Harris leaves the Buffalo game in an ambulance. Now, apparently they're under fire for cutting to DeMar Hamlin. Why wouldn't you cut to DeMar Hamlin? But here's the question I got, Josh and Jamie. Why didn't they cancel this game? Why didn't they cancel the game? Damian Harris, paralyzed, going to the... no, they don't cancel the game. Isabas, the tight end for the Bengals, that was his birthday yesterday. I think it was 26th birthday, and he got his first touchdown pass. Tyreek Hill did a flip. He's going to be fined. No Fun League continues. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. We'll be back tomorrow with Sports Without Boundaries.